And Kyrie just doesn't want to defend. I still don't get it. And Kevin Love, well, he never was a defender. I mean, he's always been kind of a rebound hawk, but that doesn't mean he knows how to throw a hand in anyone's face. He kind of likes to do the Olay and let people go by. I don't know if I really see this game going the series going any other way than in the Cavs' favor, but I do see it going 6 games. I think Paul George and Lance Stevenson, they know how to frustrate teams, and they may not stop them every time, but they'll definitely throw a wrench into that rhythm.
Do you see Jeff Teague being a big factor? I mean, saying that Kyrie's not going to play D. I mean, you do got to worry about if Tyronn Lue decides to have more about Deron Williams playing someone like Jeff Teague, so Kyrie can go out there and dance on their second string, Rodney Stuckey and Monte Ellis maybe, but Monte Ellis is a dancer himself. So
well, I really like Monte Ellis. He's Mr. Big Shot on that team when Paul George.
He's not what he used to be.
Of course not. Well, no one's what they used to be. But all right, LeBron is still pretty good. Except I feel like he didn't cry as much before. But what I believe now is that Rodney Stuckey. These are tough people. Like Jeff Teague, I mean, he used to dance on people in Atlanta.
He still does, man. Atlanta's not too far removed. Like, I mean, you're talking last season when he gets traded through, and he's still an offensive nightmare.
Right.
He's not someone who's going to drop 30 on you every single game, of course.
But he also, they feed off of each other. And if you see Lance and you see Paul stopping people, they're going to try their best to stop.
I mean, so you see 6 games.
Yeah, I'm going 6. Cavs win it, but 6 games, and that won't be the last 6-game series for the Cavs.
I actually still see, as much as I believe that the Pacers are going to get in a little tough times, I think it'll be enough games where it's frustrating, like you said, but at the end of the game, the Cavs are going to figure a way to get through it, and I think they actually take this in 5. I wouldn't be surprised to see a 6-game series because that's something they can pull out of Cleveland the way Paul George plays and the way Lance Stevenson's that Rough Rider. But I have a feeling this one's a 5-game series. But I mean, there's a couple other ones we can get through real quick, like Milwaukee and Toronto. How do you see that going?
I really love the Bucks. The Greek Freak is amazing. Jason Kidd, he's proven to be a much better coach than I thought he would be. He just had to get away from the train wreck Nets. They really know. I wish they had Jabari Parker playing. I wish he could have been there for this. I think that they're going to be a better team next year. Yeah. I just don't see them beating up one of the best backcourts in all of the NBA, and Kyle Lowry, and DeMar DeRozan.
Until literally this very moment, like before I was talking about it, I agree. I don't know what it is, man. But right now, I'm putting on for the Greek Freak, bro. I would not be shocked if this series goes 6 games. If this series goes 7 games, I wouldn't be shocked to see Milwaukee come out of this one and make the upset on Toronto. I don't think they'll go any further. Right. I think it'd be one of those upsets where it's like, well, you took out a good team, and the rest of the Eastern Conference thanks you, but now it's time for you to go home. I could see Milwaukee taking this away. Like Jason Kidd's a mastermind. He wasn't one of the best point guards in the NBA for 20+ years because he didn't know the game. He's a smart guy. He was a coach before he was done being a player, and he's showing that now that he has pieces to work with. Jabari Parker would absolutely be helpful to this, but I mean, the Greek Freak, if this team, the way Harden says, if they were winning more, he'd be a very serious consideration for an MVP type candidate. Definitely the most improved candidate.
Well, and I like the matchup of Serge Ibaka and Giannis Antetokounmpo. I think that you're going to see a block party from both of them. I think it's going to be a really great defensive series, especially in the front courts. Like and you can't sleep on Vucevic, but I just don't think there's enough depth. Yeah. And you're going to really ask way too much of the stat stuff in Antetokounmpo to really win that series. And I just don't think he has 4 victories.
I feel that. I'll be honest. It's my flyer. Like it's the one where, like if it happens, I'm like, I told you. But really, I only had like 10% of stats to back it up. But sometimes when you got a good feeling, you know the game, you got the instinct. That's all you really need.
Well, that'll be on our next week's segment. Yeah. So what had happened was.
Let's do this real quick before we jump into the Western Conference. Who do you have? Atlanta versus Why do I
The
keep
Wizards,
doing
man.
that, man? I'm not used to them being
Sleep
there.
on John
I'm
Wall.
not used to
Sleep on Bradley Beal. I dare you. I double dare you.
there.
Well, you know, I'm going with the Wizards mainly because I just have no faith in the Atlanta Hawks. I've never had faith in the Atlanta Hawks, even when they were like one of the best teams in the league 2 years ago.
Ruined.
They were just like, oh, let's trade everyone. That makes a good idea.
It reminds me of the championship Mavericks. They had this great team. They won the championship. Said, "Thanks, guys. Get the hell out of here." Like that's basically what Atlanta just did.
And yeah, I mean, you see that all around sports, and it's always like weird. Like every time the Marlins win a World Series, everyone was gone.
So how many games do you have?
That's a 6-game series. That's going to be a great series. It really is.
Watch the rest of them in 6 games.
It's just that all of a sudden Paul Millsap is going to be like, why isn't anyone else playing? And they're going to lose.
You don't think they haven't seen it in the 6 games though?
No, I really like Tim Hardaway Jr. I think he's clutch. He makes a lot of dumb decisions, especially defensively. He'll be like, I think it's a good time to foul.
For me, the first round, man, except for a game or a series or two here and there, that's only a sweeper or a 5-game series in a lot of cases. Now, granted, this is the 4-5 matchup, so it will be something that. So six makes a lot of sense. I think Washington's hungry, man. This backcourt, as you say, is, if you ask me, the best backcourt in the NBA. You do got Clay and Steph over there shooting the lights out, but when you're one-dimensional.
I mean, but like that's why I like DeMar and Kyle.
That's the matchup I would love to see. Toronto versus Washington.
Now we can pray.
We can pray.
But speaking of 4 and 5 matchups, we're going to head over onto the Western side of things, and the most intriguing, the best matchup, the battle of the two people going for MVP. A former Oklahoma City Thunder, and then the guy leading the show now. We got the Rockets and James Harden going up against Russell Westbrook and the Thunder. Who you got?
Can we just say right now that whatever OKC was doing that had them let go of Serge Ibaka, had them let go of James Harden, I know there were monetary problems there, whatever, had them let go of Kevin Durant, could you imagine where we would be right now with those 4 guys on one of the best teams in the West still playing against this Golden State Warriors team?
And you think about it, especially with how flawed the buyout contracts are in the NBA. You're looking at those 4 people, and then they could pick up someone to be in the background like JaVale McGee or someone like David West who will just take veteran I want a ring money. There's so many veterans out there that could really make a difference on a team with a core that would be young, and they would have been together for a while. But there was something there. You could tell that, hell, all 3 of these guys were Kevin Durant, Westbrook, and Harden were on the team. Well, all of them were in the MVP talks this year. Yeah. Of course, Durant got injured and was taken right out. But you can't have 3 MVPs on one team.
Why not? Where do you think the big 3 mentality came from?
Well, the thing is,
it's not their fault that they all ended up being, when they had these guys on their team, KD, absolutely MVP candidate every single year. Westbrook, rough rider, head to the rim, an attacker, a real talent. Didn't think of him as an MVP player until he lost the MVP player. Now he's by himself. That's what elevated his game to an MVP player. And James Harden was a guy who I love coming off the bench. That was perfect. It's like, it doesn't matter. We take all the firepower off because we got this guy coming doing essentially what Russell Westbrook is doing now off the bench when he was in OKC.
Right.
So you come back to it, and that's actually wants to bring the point back up to now is you have 2 very similar talents. Like if you would have told me back then that James Harden could have been Russell Westbrook's backup as just a point guard, could you imagine that team? So now you have these guys fighting each other. The MVP can't talk has been crazy. I believe it ends one way in the MVP talk. But the fact that no one has been able to call it and now these guys are playing for it, does it have to be the team who wins gets the MVP? Do you think that's where it comes to?
Well, no, because MVP voting actually has to be done the Thursday after the last game, so it'll be done tomorrow. It's only for the season. It has nothing to do with the playoffs.
They just announced it late too.
Now they're doing what everyone else does, and they're going to do a ceremony like the NFL does, so that people will not watch it.
Mm-hmm.
But
it's all the hyperbole about who gets the MVP after all the network talks got to be screwed up there. But
yeah, well, no, and it's silly the way they do it because obviously, but that's why there's a playoffs MVP, a finals MVP,
right?
Really, But when it comes down to it, though, I really think Westbrook has the edge just because he did something that hasn't been done since the Big O. I mean, if you break Oscar Robertson records and then you all of a sudden in one season surpass Wilt Chamberlain on triple doubles, well, you're going to get some recognition for MVP. Do I wish that they played better defense on both sides of that argument? Yeah, but obviously defense isn't that pretty, and like they're both very media savvy. I mean, they all know how to show up with whatever they want to wear to get everyone being like, "Did you see what he was wearing today?" We're talking about basketball, not the fashion week, and every time it seems like I'm watching a runway of just disastrous proportions. But
that's so much for
exactly. But now that we're doing what they want us to do, let's get back to the game here.
Here's what I want to know. And the triple double thing, yes, we know it's an amazing feat. What a lot of people don't mention, he did that from the point guard position at 10 plus rebounds a game. He was snatching boards like Rondo back in his heyday, to be honest. But who is your MVP? Is it Westbrook? Is it Harden? I know you kind of have this put on for Kawhi for whatever reason. Like, who is your
defense
MVP?
wins games, and Kawhi's on a team that won 60 games, and he was an integral part of it. His defense. I mean, could we just go back to the moment? Oh, I'm gonna drain this three to take the lead on you, James Harden. Oh, you're gonna try and make that bucket? Backboard. No, game over. That was MVP moment. Moment. Plural.
Give me another.
All right. Well,
because I can give you 42 from Russ.
Well, the moment that sealed it for me for the MVP and who I'm picking was a 50-point triple double with a buzzer beater to win it, and that's why I'm gonna pick Russell Westbrook.
If you don't take that game and call MVP for him, broke the record, hit the game-winning shot. 50-point triple-double, knocked the team out of the playoffs, locked up the Western playoff seed. Like, what other storyline did he not hit that day?
And I get it, and that's why I will pick him. But in my opinion, I just don't think that we're taking it. We can't quantify how important the defense of Kawhi is. And you know what? In my opinion, you are one of the more valuable players on your team, but your team can't be that good if you have to score 50 points and have a triple-double and still hit the game-winning shot.
But how is that not the point of him being MVP? What's the V in MVP stand for?
It's value.
Is it? Okay, now here's the question. What does value mean? Value is when without you, your team is probably chilling with the Denver Nuggets on the bus ride out of the playoffs. The only reason they are in the playoffs, you say you got to win, it's not like they're losing. Not you say they got to win, but the general talk is you got to win to be an MVP player. He has them alone. No offense to the boys, Victor Oladipo, who hasn't done enough. He has them alone at the 6th seed. He didn't creep into the playoffs.
And I'm sure he's probably right up there in, like, if not the number one win above replacement. I believe it. But, I just don't think. I think if you can score 40 points and hold them to 20 points less, that seems more valuable to me because it takes more pressure off of yourself and your team. And I do think that's what Kawhi brings. Now, that being said, Russell Westbrook is playing with Steven Adams and Enes Kanter. And Victor Oladipo, who was shipped so quickly from Orlando that it almost gave you pause. Like, wait, what happened in the future? Right? I thought we were going to watch that team grow. But, that's besides the point because, hey, they were even ready to get rid of Ibaka. They were like, Ibaka, oh, right, you want to go to the playoffs. Here you go, Toronto, for nothing.
Absolutely.
But...
All right, well, let's take it back to where we started. Yeah. I mean, that because I can go forever on that MVP.
Westbrook MVP, we got it.
So does that? Let's say Westbrook rightfully wins the MVP. How much does that fuel Harden in this playoff matchup?
I think it fuels him tremendously. I think right now Harden knows he didn't win. I think right now Harden believes.
I don't think you can tell him that.
I don't think he'd ever admit it, but I think he knows that right now he has to beat Russell. And now there's certainly no hatred between them like Kevin Durant and Russell Westbrook. There isn't any broken heart thing. But I do know that James Harden was in the shadow of Russell, and that's why he had to leave. And that's why he demanded to be traded. And that's why the Rockets were like, take my money. And it didn't work out with several coaches, but James Harden, Mike D'Antoni.
Yeah, Mike D'Antoni, though, he's the only coach I know can underachieve for years at a time. He's like the Jeff Fisher of the NBA, except every now and then he has one really good season.
He definitely had to get rid of the mustache. I was like, is that Mike D'Antoni?
So do you have the Rockets winning the series?
I have the Rockets winning the series. Their depth is way better. Way better than...
My heart wants to pick OKC. My heart wants to pick OKC, but my basketball knowledge tells me the Rockets in 6, maybe in 5, but The Rockets in 5.
Right.
The Rockets in 5. It's if they don't go to the draft this year and get Russell Westbrook some serious help, like you're not going to be seeing him much longer. As much as a hometown guy he wants to be.
But. Oh no, hometown guy he wants to be. It means he's going to LA.
Yeah.
Hey, it's sooner than you think.
So the Western Conference. I mean, the only other storyline really, man, the Golden State and the Spurs. Not playing each other yet, but like that's what we're all thinking we're about to see.
And really, are we gonna? The only real debate about the Western Conference is, will the Spurs be able to last that long to make it to the Warriors? Will the Warriors get cocky and fall back a little bit? Because when you get to the playoffs, you got to win 4 games, and if you're gonna take 7 to do it, well, they might catch you in the 7th game. They can get you with a haymaker.
You don't go 7.
You never want to go 7.
All right,
but. I still have the Warriors coming out. Like, I don't think the Jazz are going to do anything. I don't think the Clippers are going to do anything. I can't wait for that team to be over next year. Thank you. Lob City has become Sob City. I just can't believe all the crying you see in LA right now. It's terrible. And as a
the only people who should be crying in LA are the Lakers fans because the Lakers are so bad that they can't even tank correctly.
Right?
How do you start tanking and then go to 5-game win streak?
It doesn't make sense. They just like Magic Johnson being like,
"We got to go in the right direction, guys. We're winning games here."
Bruh, the Lakers doing that is just ridiculous.
Saturday's gonna be a fun kickoff day. I'm really excited. The playoffs are here. I'm getting to watch a lot more basketball than I've been watching recently with college and everything going on. But
I'm just glad March Madness is over.
I'm ready to start dissecting some of these playoffs and seeing what we're about to get. I think we're in for a historic run on both sides of the basketball conferences. Switch over real quick to NFL.
Oh, and I'm excited. The NFL draft is on us, which means we are just few more months away from preseason football, and we can finally stop paying so much attention to baseball. It's kind of great.
I mean, don't get too excited. We still got a lot of time. That's the worst part about the NFL. They'll give you all these dates, and you get excited. It's like, yeah, football. Oh, there's still 6 months before they kick a ball. It's the draft. We got some good stories coming up. I don't want to get too much into it because that's basically what all of our next week's show is going to be. Don't forget to tune in on Thursday next week, 4:20 on the launch tape. But today, though, the one I wanted to bring up. How much seriousness are you taking to the Browns saying they're not sure they're going to get Myles Garrett?
I am not taking that serious at all. If they don't take Myles Garrett, then that will be the biggest Cleveland Browns move the Browns have ever made.
I don't know, man. What are you talking about? You got 13-star Mitchell Trubisky right there in your face. What have they missed out on him?
Everything.
They're not going to take Josh Gordon either. You might as well get a quarterback so you can have no one to throw to. Come on, what are you talking about? Myles Garrett's not the clear number 1 pick. It's not like Mel Kiper and Todd McShay think he's the number 1 guy. Like
no, stop. Myles Garrett, he's a physical freak. Now, I've seen some terrible comparisons, but like the thing is, there have been a couple of combine freaks that come in and they don't have the motor. Myles Garrett he has a Von Miller-like motor. And that is what I really like about him. He wants to be a Hall of Famer. And he doesn't want to be a Hall of Famer. He wants to be the best football player to get on that field. He wants people to go, well, he definitely is better than Lawrence Taylor like this, which, blasphemy, he'll never be better than Lawrence Taylor. I think he could possibly be a Hall of Famer, but you don't pass up on a Hall of Fame credential, especially when
you can't go Hall of Fame.
Potential. He has the physical abilities. Like
you want every person you draft to be Hall of Fame potential. That's why you pick them. You believe they're that good.
But yeah,
you're staring at a good player. You're staring at a great player. You're staring at a guy who is probably going to make some differences for you in your first season. You can't jump to Hall of Fame yet. I get where you're going.
But I think what we're missing there is I think that he's going to have a Joey Bosa-like impact right away. Last year, Joey Bosa comes in by the 4th game, and he's practically Defensive Rookie of the Year already. Like, he was in quarterbacks' faces right away. I think Myles Garrett has the complete ability, especially with Jamie Collins there. I just think that they really are going to – he's going to not have as much pressure. He's going to be better than what Jadeveon Clowney looked like. And, I think he's way more physically gifted than Jadeveon Clowney is. And, Jadeveon Clowney made one great hit Myles Garrett, although he kind of like didn't really pick up steam until this year, I mean, sometimes you have to grow into your body, and did he ever?
I mean, that great hit was just a social media takeoff. Yeah. That wasn't the sum of his career. It's just one of the most memorable.
Exactly.
I mean, now granted, Myles Garrett's most memorable moments are plural, and it's him running guys over and over again. Just to put it out there, I 100% agree. Myles Garrett is definitely the number one pick, and the Browns would be very Brown-like to let him go.
Because like, if we were going to say, like, yes, you want every one of your picks to have Hall of Fame potential, but now if you're going to say which one has a more potential to be in the Hall of Fame, like at the end of their career, Myles Garrett or Mitchell Trubisky.
So, do you think this can be? And I just want to ask this question, then we'll jump into one more question before we take off. Do you think this may just be a power move by the Browns, just to be like? Because I mean, if you remember, Myles Garrett put out that message like, if you skip over me, whatever team, I'm gonna punish him. Yeah. You know, I'm gonna beat you.
If there was anything for them to do, they have so many picks already. If someone's really wanting that number one spot for Mitch Trubisky, maybe they get more picks. I don't know what it is. They're doing this like Moneyball kind of concept, and that's why they've done it the last 2 years. They've traded out and gotten more. But you know what? There's going to come a point where having 32 first-round picks is not going to do you any good because you're going to have a team of rookies. So please draft some people and make a team work.
You can't. If people move up to the first place from the Browns and take Mitch Trubisky, they're just as dumb as the Browns. I mean, like, if the Browns are going to give it away, hoping that Myles Garrett would be there, I mean, what other pick are they going to get? If Myles Garrett doesn't go number one, San Francisco's got to take a number two. Their defense couldn't stop a run if they were laying on a track with a bunch of sprinters. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, they couldn't make it happen. I saw that story. I had to ask about it because it made no sense to me. I flipped out seeing it last night. How do you even
exactly
fathom it? But
I mean,
one more question in the NFL spectrum. What do you make of Marshawn Lynch secretly talking with the Patriots? Bruh.
He did what?
Bruh.
Well, what I could say to that is, I don't think he should come back out of retirement.
You don't think he should come back out of retirement at all?
Not at all. Why? I honestly think this is just him being nervous that people are already forgetting about Marshawn Lynch. The best thing that you can do when you're retired is stay in the spotlight. And by staying in the spotlight, Marshawn Lynch has done it. Marshawn Lynch has been on shows. Marshawn Lynch is still in advertisements. People love to watch him react. It's a weird thing. I don't understand. He's not that personable.
Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something. Today, I saw a video of Marshawn Lynch being videotaped outside the airport. Asked the man to stop. He said no, basically, and kept filming him. So Marshawn Lynch, very Oakland, California, like, walked up, slapped the phone out of his hand, and spit in his direction. That was interesting. You know what would be more interesting? Marshawn Lynch on the field, possibly having a 1,000-yard season. There's absolutely every reason for him to come out of retirement. If you ask me, he took a beating, but he retired too soon. Marshawn Lynch, I don't see him having 1,500 yards. I don't see him having 1,700 yards. I don't see him having 20 touchdowns. Well, he could definitely come out and be a very sustainable back. Well, I don't think he was anywhere near done when he left.
If Marshawn comes back for money or comes back for a championship, those are the two things. If he wants to come back and win a championship with a team,
well, the money's always for a reason.
But if he's coming back for money, I don't want to see him come back.
It won't be the only reason. You don't think he's going to try it? I mean, he's not. It's not like he's coming back to play for Tennessee or something.
I'm not. Well, Tennessee doesn't need a running back.
You get the point. Like he's trying to go to his hometown Oakland Raiders, who their offense is nice. Now they lost old boy whose name I can't even think. And I said it in my head. I was like, that's not right.
But they also just lost Oakland because they're going to Las Vegas in 2 years. But
so you put Marshawn Lynch, you give Derek Carr another viable running back to go with Michael Crabtree, to go with Amari Cooper, and now all they have to really do is draft defense and put around Khalil Mack. You don't think that's They were one injury away from a very decent playoff run last year. You don't think Marshawn Lynch can help that? You don't think if McGloin had Marshawn Lynch behind him, he would maybe have beat Houston by a couple points?
No, I don't. And but I do believe with that offensive line, very intriguing.
That's fair.
But, why would Seattle give up the rights to him?
I don't know.
But let him come out, pay him to be on their team.
Okay, but what if they go get something from Marshawn Lynch?
Well, what are they going to get? A third?
Who knows?
What is Oakland really going to give them when they like it would have to be the thing that they need is offensive line, but that's the only reason why they need Marshawn Lynch, so someone can run behind it.
I mean, either way, I mean, if you're Seattle, you don't let him go for nothing. I'll give you that. Like,
you can't let him go for nothing.
And I think it comes harder now that he's been talking to the Patriots. But either way, I definitely think he should be back in the league.
I firmly believe that we might see Tony Romo playing a game again before we see Marshawn.
Well, I mean, we tried to see that last night, and he couldn't even get on the floor then. So,
hey,
granted, it was as
he has a solid jump shot, but he doesn't. Well, and to be fair, Tony Romo looked like he retired 4 months ago. He
was so strung out in his Mavericks press conference. I was like, yo,
he definitely looks.
You got to clean up before he goes next to dance.
Yeah.
Well, me personally, I mean. To me, that's a good wrap up, man. I'm about the NBA playoffs. I'm ready for it. I definitely think Myles Garrett's got to go number one. If he doesn't, I will be thoroughly shocked. Even though we shouldn't be shocked, I'll be thoroughly shocked. Marshawn will be back. Marshawn will be back in an NFL uniform.
Who knows?
He will be back in an NFL uniform.
I don't know.
Man, this preview here, clutch. I like where you're at. You got a lot of good content from you. I kind of see what I'm getting into myself next week.
Oh yeah,
I think it's going to be very easy to kind of school you a little bit, but other than that, man.
No.
Ladies, gentlemen, we're a week away. 4th and 20 Sports. Like it on Facebook. Our YouTube page is up. Our SoundCloud is up. We're going to be posting on iTunes for you. If you haven't liked us on Twitter, 4th and 20 Sports, go ahead and do that. 1 week away, an hour-long content. What are we talking? We talking like noon 30? We talking like 1? Talking like 3?
We're gonna shoot for around 3 o'clock.
Around 3 o'clock. See what I can do. See if I can move some stuff around and be with y'all today. Well, that day, which would be today, that day. Ladies, gentlemen, thank you guys for tuning in. 4th and 20 Sports. I've been AJ,
and I'm Max.
Like it. We out.